Just a fictional mindbender. Despite its rocky start, Star Trek Picard ended out its run with a triumphant Season 3 by finally bringing back the entirety of the OG TNG cast in its entirety, including the fat one. The lack of these characters in the previous seasons, despite some of them appearing along with some unexpected surprises, was one of the main criticisms that a lot of old school fans had with the series, though I wasn't one of them. I kind of got where they were coming from though. However, Season 3 didn't escape criticism either, this time from the other side of the fandom that had enjoyed the previous season's blend of old and new characters, and who now seem to have been unceremoniously dismissed. And this feeling was capped off with the finale of the Enterprise D and Titan's battles with the Borg-possessed Starfleet and Cube. More specifically, that only the younger, new generation of up-and-coming Starfleet officers were infected by the Borg, leaving older officers to be either killed off or to be removed to far-off positions where they couldn't do anything. All of Starfleet had fallen prey to the Borg's final insidious attempt to take out the Federation, and now it was up to the OG crew and an old ship to save the day. Do you see the problem here? Many fans didn't see this as an evolution of the Borg's ongoing war with the Federation, but a commentary between the often perceived culture war between Generation Millennials and Zoomers against older Boomers and even occasionally Gen Xers. I think this criticism is misplaced, however. While I too found it sus that only 2 actors returned for the final season from the previous 2 seasons of Picard, and even then, one of them was written out after episode 1, Picard's Romulan girlfriend, there wasn't enough evidence to suggest any kind of malice against the previous cast for me. The younger actors prior to the final battle got plenty of screen time not being possessed. And, moreover, Jack, Picard and Beverly Crusher's son, and asshole captain Liam Shaw somewhat represented the main viewpoint for the younger characters actually. That these people were has-beens, disappeared from the front lines long ago, and no longer the face of the Federation. And if Shaw is right, getting the Federation into trouble more often than they did saving it. But even then, there was the nuance that others still respected their elders, but still held their own until the finale. Also, it was clear that Season 3 was going to be heavy on the fan fest, while at the same time pushing the beloved characters into new territory, since the actors themselves didn't want to retread old beats that they had done 30-40 years ago. And they were right to do so. Though many fans wanted their fave characters from 30 years ago to be more or less unchanged since Star Trek Nemesis, realistically, it didn't make any sense, which was one of the reasons why I actually liked Picard Season 1 and 2. Regardless though, that's only one point in the plot, albeit a major point, involving all the younger characters falling under the Borg influence. But it was still only one point. Picard Season 3 was about how these characters had changed over the years, and that circumstances pressed them back into service. Some cases was doing justice to characters long neglected, like Beverly Crusher, while others, like Worf, was a case of wrapping up long-developed character arcs. Fans who thought this was a backhanded slap to them, Zoomers and New Generation Trek, I think were too influenced from the real-life minefield that is the ever-changing American culture war. At least, so they say. Where those making a lot of these noises are the ones wanting to go back to the good old days, or those wanting the boomers to step aside and get the hell out of the way to make way for the new generation to step in and live their lives. But at the same time, there's also the ironic twist that this too was essentially Star Trek. That no matter the decade, Star Trek has always been a commentary and reflection on modern society set in a far future setting, as well as stories being told in space. So then, I suppose that many who feel this way about the Season 3 finale shouldn't have really been surprised either if they followed that particular ethos regarding Star Trek as a whole. But let me know your thoughts below, and this is the Fictional Mindbender. Have a good day.